You ready? All right. It's 6 o'clock. I call to order the Jefferson Township Advisory Board meeting. It's June 10th, 2026. All right. First thing is approval of the minutes for April 15th.
I got comments on the minutes, as far as the minutes are concerned. AJ, I believe you remember we had this very same issue before with the last trustee over these minutes and what can be put in and what is. The minutes are not official minutes until the board approves them. We went through that with Larry because Larry had to call the state over it. You remember that. And so they're not official minutes until we approve them. So we can add or put anything. We can't add our own comments. What's ever discussed, we discuss this with Larry. Whatever's discussed at them in the minutes, in the meetings, we can put in the minutes. And you can't be refused. It's not, I'm not adding stuff that wasn't discussed at the minutes. That's, and you get, in order for what the letter that she sent me that says the law is if you want to change them after you approve them. We have not approved these minutes so that whatever we discuss at the meeting can go in the minutes. You went through this with Larry on him when you took over as secretary. He called the state.
My understanding on that is the board, which is those two, has to decide.
What do you mean just those two? Hold on a
Because
minute.
they were here at the last meeting. They are the ones who decided what minutes to approve, because they had the opportunity to approve, because you're talking about the last meeting.
We can put, AJ, we can suggest she left stuff out, and all I simply did was tell her she left stuff out that needed to be added. I didn't tell her that she needed to add something that we didn't discuss, that was left out.
And it was presented with your, what you wanted to be added.
You can't keep somebody from putting, it was in the meetings. We discussed it.
I'm not the one who voted on that.
Call the state and talk to the state about it. You cannot,
Okay.
It's discussed. It's not, she doesn't approve the minutes. We do. She can't put in there what she wants and we just gotta accept what she puts in there. You can't do that. She's not.
Hey.
So he had his input on it then too, putting in there what he wanted, but I couldn't.
didn't add anything to it.
So you didn't have no input in them whatsoever. So we took her word on what was put in the minutes then. We gotta accept
Yes,
whatever she
I read
puts
the
in there.
minutes, and I was at the meeting, at both of them. And
Did I ask to put anything in the minutes that was not discussed at the meeting?
But again, David.
Did I ask for anything that was, you can't outvote me on it, AG, it was discussed in the meeting. I'm not asking you to put something we didn't discuss.
Okay, the minutes are not supposed to be a word for word transcript of what happened at the meeting. It's just the highlights of what happened at the meeting. And the motions that were voted on and approved.
Talk to the state. You cannot, because you guys feel that you don't need them in the minutes, you can't. I'm not asking you to put something in there that was not discussed. You call him, because Larry, you remember Larry calling them about this, because we had the same issue, because Larry said the minutes needed to be sent to the state the week after we had the meeting. And no, the minutes are not approved until this board approves them.
Okay.
And the board, as long, yeah, I can't add something that we didn't discuss and say, well, I want to put this in there.
Okay.
But anything that's done at a meeting can be put in the minutes. That needs to go in the minutes. She doesn't decide what goes in there. We've got to say so what we can, and she's got to put it in there. I mean, it's not up for.
The board decided, unfortunately, you cannot make it. You had the opportunity to be here virtual.
Couldn't, AJ, I could, I told you that. We're going to discuss that too about the time. We're going to
Okay.
discuss the meeting.
So do you have anything to add to the meetings besides that?
No, just that, but I want it noted. I want it noted in this meeting too. You need to call the state and ask about it. You cannot, Larry we already went through this with the last trustee, AJ, and you know we did. You were the secretary, did we not?
Okay.
Did we not go through this? Okay, thank you. Just as long as you admit that we did go through this once already.
Anything else on the minutes?
I wasn't here, so I ain't voting on them.
I make a move to approve the meeting minutes for April 15th, 2026.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye.
But you need to find out, AJ, what the state, you've got to do to get what I wanted in the minutes put in there, because I didn't ask you to do anything above and beyond or that wasn't not discussed at the meeting. So you need to find out how you need to get them, what I wanted in there.
All right, next thing, the tanker, replacement tanker.
So, that took the, fire department took delivery of that 2 Mondays ago. So they've been training on it. Ben said 75% of the staff is trained on it. So they have no issues taking that out on the fire run right now as is. So they're gonna get that decal up here hopefully before the end of the month. Just depends on when the company that's doing the upfits the radio and the decals can get it into their schedule. So hopefully before the end of the month, that way they'll be ready for some of the parades. You guys have any other questions about?
Yeah, where did you get the money to pay for it?
We appropriated that money.
From where? When did we appropriate it?
Appropriated in back in February, I believe, from the capital outlays and then the fire queuing fund. And I think some came from rainy day fund. So the monies were appropriated early in the year for that.
The total, I thought we didn't know the total amount though. For sure, you didn't take none out of the investment funds, correct?
Yeah, the money has to come out of investment fund.
Well, you wasn't allowed to touch that. We had an ordinance, there's an ordinance that we made that money with Larry, that money wasn't, you have to get board approval before you took money out or put money in, so we knew.
The
We
money,
never did that.
so those investment funds are more like a bank account. They're just like a savings account that have a higher interest. So,
Did you take money out of there though?
because that was appropriated for that. And the state approved that appropriation.
Okay, hold on. I understand what you're saying, that we appropriate, but we didn't. There's a resolution that we signed when Larry was in office that we had to approve before you took that money out or put any in. That resolution was not for that.
The money was appropriated for this purchase.
Okay, but did you get our approval to take that money out of that fund before
The
you did it?
monies were appropriated by the board for this purchase.
Did you get, there's a
The
resolution.
money was
When
appropriated.
did we vote on that? Can you show me where we
February.
voted to take that money out? I want to see the resolution of taking that money out of that fund. Because remember we signed a resolution over that, AG, so that protects you, so that you couldn't put money in or take it out without the board approval. There's a resolution for that, and we needed to sign before you took that money out. We may have appropriated the money, but you couldn't take it out till you had board approval.
From what my understanding is, the last resolution we signed back in this, back in last year,
You look it
whatever
up.
was budgeted,
I'll get the resolution where you couldn't take the money out or put it in without
but
board
we signed a
approval.
resolution at the end of last year that said
To take our money out.
whatever money was budgeted without being over high, without being,
But
a
it's-
certain amount of money had to be approved. It was, we have a resolution that states that.
It's separated though, not from them funds it isn't. It's not the same thing. It didn't give you a blanket account to take it out of them. That was a whole separate ordeal that we had.
So those are set, the way the state looks at those funds is the same way. It's the same, they're in the same bank account, same funds. So as
Okay,
long as it's
but
budgeted and
we as a
appropriated.
board, but remember, we went through this with Larry. The board sets the guidelines and the rules out. Remember this? We set
Okay.
through the state when you get audited of what, and you were supposed to get our permission, our approval to take that money out before you spent it or put money in it. You're supposed to get our approval so we can keep track. We signed that resolution. So you need to find that resolution and make sure you follow that resolution, but you didn't.
Is this what you're talking about?
No, that's for additional appropriations. That's not to take the money out of. We signed a resolution that he had
Okay,
to
I'm sitting right.
let us know when he
No,
took that
no,
money in
no.
or out of the account. So you need to, because you couldn't take that money out without our approval, with that resolution we signed.
Okay.
Okay, well, you need to check into that.
Anything else on the replacement tanker?
And I mean, I want answers on this stuff, AJ, for the next meeting.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right, anything else on the replacement tanker? All right, we'll move on to the opening bids, although there is.
So we have no bids for the 2 old tankers, so we're gonna have to do, so what we tried doing there is trying to do the most economic without having to pay fees or anything like that for somebody selling them for us. So we had 0 bids come through on them, especially at the value that we set. Doesn't mean that there's not people interested. Now it's just gonna be, hey, we either reopen them back up at whatever people want to buy them at now, or we try to go to a third party and try to do basically an auction type style on it, or there's companies out there that we can set the price and it goes nationwide. But again, they take their fees out of that
Is it
total.
buyer's fees, or is it gonna be, because most of them are going to buyer's fees.
I usually say it's probably buyer's fees, commission fees. I'm not sure exactly, but we'll have to look at it.
I know there's a big one coming to Fort Wayne.
Yeah, Purple Wave's
Yeah,
always,
Purple
Purple Wave's always around. So
Purple Wave's about to do a big one at Fort Wayne.
I think both counties holding off on using them. They're gonna wait to see, because I think Adams County's doing it this time around. So they're waiting to see how Adams County's version of it goes through, then the county's gonna, because the county's got some equipment they're looking to sell too, but they're wanting to see how Adams County's does before they put it in. So I kind of would do the same. I'll wait, get more information on that stuff.
So when we told about fire chief that he brings so much money, that he estimated him to bring so much money?
That's his estimated money, but that doesn't mean what people are gonna pay for it. So that's what's nice about what we're in, is you can put it out there for a certain bid, an estimate, but people aren't gonna buy that. I work in the automotive world. There's vehicles that sit on a lot for a while because people just don't want to pay that price. So over time, we end up having to mark them down, so we take the hit on them before people buy them. And that's just the way with these. Yeah, we can estimate them at.
So we had him appraised then.
Well, at a certain value, correct.
So who appraised him?
The fire chief thought this is what they
So
would go for.
we got an appraisal from the fire chief on what they was worth.
But that doesn't mean,
Okay, I understand the way it works. I'm just
Right.
asking the question. So
So-
we had an appraisal by the fire chief of what they were
what he
worth.
thought they were worth, and we kind of, on the one, we went down a little bit lower than what he said, but again, that doesn't mean what people are gonna buy them for. So we had that minimum bid out there, so if we would take that minimum bid off there, I bet you we would have had some bites on it, but somebody could have bid $200 on it, and we still don't have to take those bids either. We could reject any and all bids. So it's whatever we feel is the value on them. It doesn't matter what they're appraised at. It's what we want. We feel like the value on them is. So if I have somebody that's interested at 25,000 on the international, which is the 94, that's your guys' decision whether to accept that or we go a different route. I don't think anybody's interested in that Freightliner, so we're gonna have to go probably a different route on that. And I think there's somebody that was interested in the international, but they didn't want to put in a minimum bid of the 35,000 or 30,000, sorry.
So
So
can you just list them
I could,
for sale?
we could sell them now. We did a public bid and now we could go back out and try to sell it now. So I have somebody that's interested in the 94. I think he's only interested in paying 25,000 for it. So I think our minimum on that was 30,000.
Mhm.
So it's $5,000 less than what we decided. So you guys could say, yeah, we'll take that on that truck, and then we'll try to figure out what we could do on the 97 Freightliner, see if we can get that sold.
Is there any fees with having them just posted?
I would have to look at it. I think there is.
Because I know the guy will come out and inspect the vehicle, look it all over and stuff, and then check it out before he posts it.
Right.
So that'd be the main question, because if there's no fees, then I don't see a reason why we wouldn't just post it.
Post it for a little bit and see what we can get out of them.
Yeah, because I mean, we could always still keep a reserve if we wanted to.
Right.
Talk about lowering it, but
Yeah, we
I don't
can,
really want to pay anything if it's going to cost us anything.
right. I don't want to say anything either. That's why I say we have
Especially
some,
not seeing how these first ones go.
right. And like I say, if we wanted to go a different route, we could do something else. I could look into it and let you guys know, hey, it's gonna cost us this much to even list it. Then we can decide, nope, we don't want to do that. We're gonna go this direction. So,
I guess the next question is too, are we legally allowed to post them for sale for what our asking prices? Like, are we allowed to say they're for sale for 35,000? I know a lot of time it has to be auction if it's public, right?
Well, that's why we
No, I
did that,
think
that's why we did
we
the.
can set the
We
price.
can
Yeah,
set the price,
well,
that's why we
we set the
did
reserve, but I
Right.
didn't know if
No,
we
I
could just
think we can
say,
set,
We
we
can,
can set
we
the
can set
price.
it, but most auctions.
We just have to all agree on what the
What the
price
min,
is.
right, the minimum
Yeah.
price, if we
Yeah.
wanted to have a reserve, because I know the reserve's gonna change rates too, so. So that's what your guys' decision on it, what we, how we proceed. We can see if anybody charges to post them, list them. If they do, like I said, you go to an auction, they're gonna charge you a commission fee. You go any other third-party platform, they're gonna charge you a commission fee too, because
We'll
they're
just
basically,
open it up for bids and see what we get the next go around.
like you said, we already have it kind of
And then if
offer
we
out.
get what, if we agree, if we get what we think it's high enough, then we'll sell it. If not,
Yeah,
then
we can do it.
then
We
we'll
can-
go with that
just remove the reserve.
auction.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got-
just remove the reserve. We want open bids on
And
them.
we can wait till our next meeting in August, so we can say, hey, this is out here. We're gonna decide in August, you put it in your bids and we can go from there.
And at that point, we should see how this one goes with the.
We can, if
Yeah.
we get enough interest, we can have another meeting
Yeah.
and approve. I mean, it's,
I'm willing to do that too, just to get rid of this. things.
Right. So
yeah,
we
they're-
can,
they're
I mean, we
gonna-
don't want them to sit up there no longer than we have
They're
to,
gonna
but
rust.
put them for open bid, AG, put them out there for open bid, give it.
we can see what we do and see what we got, but like I said, an offer's out there right now on the one for 25, so. If nobody else is paying the minimum, that's just throwing that out there. We could run them again and see what, with no minimum bids out there.
See what it is, and then we'll just go from there. You just have to let us know if you, I guess, put a date out there or whatever, and then we'll have to decide
Right.
whether we want to have a meeting sooner in August to get them out of their hair.
Anything else?
Well, I have an opinion. You have an offer
Mm-hmm.
that to me sounds good, and you're not gonna have any fees involved with that, right? You're just gonna sell it.
Just gonna sell it?
And
They
you're
pay all-
not paying anybody any commissions
Correct.
or extra fees. I think you should just sell it to that person. That's my opinion.
I'm gonna double check to make sure. You said 25, right? I just wanna make sure that the pricing. Yeah, cause I think we were asking 35 though.
I thought it was 30.
Yeah, I thought it was 30 too.
I mean, I think we ought to give the rest of the public a chance, to see,
But that's the thing too, I had nobody else reach out to me, period. so.
I mean, but at the reserve prices, somebody might not want it to.
Right, but they could even reach out and say, hey, I'm not gonna pay your reserve, but here's my thoughts on it. It's like, okay, then we can open up the discussion, so.
I'm also on agreement with David, taking the risk and seeing who removes the reserve, who gets more traction.
Yeah, see, at least give the public an opportunity to.
That's your guys' decision on that.
Because I also think we'd have time to see what this next go around Purple Rain looks like. Because I don't think the one is gonna sell
Right.
for what we are even asking. So I think it's better also then to see what the auction does, because it'll probably go for more auction than it would.
Because auctions are gonna go nationwide. That's what I say, do we wanna reach out to a nationwide company to see what it would do?
Well, I
No, we
just
did.
try here first and then.
Yeah,
If last week, I mean,
The international was minimum bid for 35.
let's try to keep away from paying fees to see if we can get, if we can get a couple people interested.
No.
If
You could just reach out and see what Purple Rain offers.
I'll reach out to the companies to see what they offer also and see what we get, because like I say, if we got some time, we can put it out there and see what we get.
And that also gives us time to look into the auction stuff. So.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, I mean, look into the see what at least at the next meeting, be prepared to tell us what auction rates are, what it's gonna cost us
Right.
if we wanna go that route.
All right. Anything else on it? All right. We'll move to the 2027 fire agreement.
So one option we have right now is basically just changing the dates and when we get the budget. inputting the budget of what that is and just going with that same agreement. Especially since we'll have a new board next year. Well, two new people, most likely right now. And the town of Boston will have two new people. So we can decide at that point whether to do something completely different, or I could start having discussions with the town and the fire department about changing stuff up. But otherwise, the only thing on this, what I handed to you, is changing the dates. I left a blank on the budget because we don't know what the budget is yet, because we're just now into the time of start building the budgets.
What dates are you talking about, Gene?
So everything went from 2026 to 2027.
It's like-
It says,
Yeah, that was what he said.
Because it's a one-year.
It's like an example of what it's been. Yeah, it's an
So there
example.
was no money, they spent all, there was no money left over from last year, correct?
Correct, because they,
In 2025, there was no money left over when we crossed over into 2026, correct?
because they had,
And then you still haven't got where you paid the rest of it in 2026 at, where you got the money to pay the extra balance.
so we appropriated that early in the year.
No, we appropriate, but then we didn't appropriate the money to pay that.
We did.
No, we
In
didn't.
2027, we appropriated it. It's in the minutes.
What do you mean
So we paid the final bill after we appropriated the money for that extra that we didn't have budgeted for the prior year.
No, we didn't. You told me you paid it prior. You told us at the
No.
meeting that you paid it.
I could not pay it until we appropriated the money, and we appropriated that money. I could not pay that bill until it was that. I talked to Aussie, and Aussie was fine of us not paying, because they will work with me. So we had a delinquent bill with the town of Ossian that we paid off in February. And so now we got fully funded budget this year, so we're not gonna have any issues this year.
Yeah, but your end of the year's not gonna work out.
Yeah, well, we appropriated the money.
We appropriated after the first of the year though, so that can't go back to 2025.
To pay it out of this year's budget, because we appropriated the money this year.
Exactly, and that doesn't take effect till after, you can't back a date from one year to the next.
I didn't pay anything back last year. I had a past due bill
Yeah.
that I paid this year.
You can't.
I can have past paid bills. This is a topic we're gonna be talking about here shortly. You can have past due bills that you can pay in the current year. You just gotta make sure you have enough money in the budget, or you gotta appropriate in the budget.
But we didn't have extra money in this year's contract.
We appropriated more money to the budget this year. That was approved in February.
To the fire budget, we
Yes.
appropriated more money to the fire budget?
Yes.
You're gonna have to get me that information.
We had this conversation, we did have this conversation last time in February too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to give me that information. You still need to go back. and
But
give me-
anything,
I
we're
still
talking,
haven't,
we're talking about
you still haven't, you still
we're
gotta,
talking about the 2027.
I agree, but-
We're not talking about the past.
okay, but you still need to get us back from, you changed your booking and I still haven't received none of, until here just last month or so, the receipts and all that. I gotta get them from clear back. You never sent December's or November's out because you were changing your,
You got all
Accounting.
that, we got all that information.
well, I haven't, you're gonna have to get it to me. I do not have it.
Okay.
Because you didn't send it.
All right, well,
January's,
All
February's.
right, so we're talking about,
We
we're talking
need
about.
to figure this out, because
We're not-
I'm not gonna have the same thing happen that we did last year. If we have any changes, we need to start making them now, so we can get with Austin and figure out what changes need to be made.
Because basically this is the same contract without the
Exactly.
budget in there right now, or we could do something completely different. My thoughts are going to a more of a contract will go continue on, but based off of assessed value and total fire runs or total runs the fire department does. So it'd be based off of how much Ossian's assessed value is, how much the township's assessed value is, times the amount of fire runs they did out in the township, how many fire runs they did in the town, and then you come up with a percentage of everything. So whether it could be the town had 51% of all calls, we had 49, but our assessed value is 51%, and theirs is 49%. So that makes it 50.
Too many variables there, because you got mutual aid, who gets to account for mutual aid, plus you got the runs they count, plus you got the runs they count for first responders when they take the fire truck. That's not fire. That's not considered fire. I mean, it is to them, but it's
no,
not
they calculate that stuff differently. They calculate runs for mutual aid differently than what's for the township. They calculate what percentage they get from the county. They calculate that all in a different way. Calculate the numbers.
I don't know about that, because it all comes in. It's up to the faith of the fire chief, because that all comes in under one ordeal. So yeah, that's not.
No, they didn't have the runs broke down to whatever they do, because they can break it down from this was accident call, this was this. They can break it down. They break it down as far as they can.
I can send it to you.
I've got it all for I've got.
So I mean,
I've got the records
that's
clear
what I'm
back.
saying.
I got the
They break
records
it
clear
down.
back
You broke it down.
till 2010.
But
So I can tell you the runs, every run they made.
But like I say,
That's-
we could do something completely different. We could continue on with this one here. I'm just bringing that up. We're gonna start talking about it now. If there's something you want to change, let's talk about it now. We're not waiting until December. Like I said, the only thing in this one here is we just don't know the budget till probably next month. And that's when we have to start talking with the state about our budgets. But this is basically the same agreement we've signed the last 2 years. Only thing that would be different is the budget totals. But if we want to do something completely different, like I said, I threw out an idea of how to break it down differently so it can kind of go on from year to year.
The only question I have on that one though is how are you going to calculate in the distances?
So you always
Austin's going to have shorter distance runs than the.
you have to have a factor figure in there for, we know the township's going to cost more to run out to fires in the township compared to the town.
I
So
mean,
you
if you're
factor
on
in.
the border of Union, it's going to take longer to get to the Union than it is to take to my house.
Right. So we understand you got to have a factor figure in there of, hey, all fire runs cost 60% more than they do in the town of Ossian, which we'll have to kind of figure out that number. But again, we don't have to do that. That is something I'm just throwing out there that we could do to kind of make it, say if Ossian for some reason, which we know may happen, overtakes the assessed value of the township, they have more runs, that they end up paying more than what we do. But right now, you look at the figures, we're about 50-50 once you factor in how long it takes to run to get to the fires out in the township compared to the town.
Well, you're talking about this and you're talking about the fire department, so then we really need to start with having a contract with the fire department and not the town of Ossian over it. We need to have our contract with the Ossian Volunteer Fire Department, not with the town of Ossian.
And
And then it
then
simplifies it.
we're talking territory, and that changes a lot.
What do you
Yeah,
mean
no,
then we're talking? How is that talking territory? You get a contract with the Ossian Volunteer
So
Fire
the
Department.
Austin Fire Department will not do a contract with the township.
Well, doesn't that seem like a problem? Does it seem like a problem to you, AJ?
Not from what, from
Okay,
my
so it's not a
understanding,
problem for you.
because I know
But
what
we
the
in the
issue is.
township gotta eat it, but we can't do nothing about it. We can't.
What do you mean we have to eat it?
We can't do it, well, we can't do nothing about it. We tried. And you guys
I
wanna
have-
just keep
Really,
bowing to
David,
whatever they
There's
want.
no,
David.
there's no solution then, David. That's what I'm saying. We need to do this now so we can at least figure out.
I don't
No,
have-
but
I don't
how
have
can you deal with somebody and not have a contract with them?
We have a
Go
contract.
ask Crosby if he's gonna go out here and frickin'.
We have a
I have
contract.
a contract with
We have a
With
contract.
Austin, but not with the fire department.
But the
Who
Austin has,
fought us? Who fought us last year? Did the town of Austin come and fight us at the meetings? Was it the town? No, it was not. It was the fire department, was it not? It was Spencer Maker who fought us over the contract, was it not? Was it not the fire department? Was it not, AJ?
What are you guys' thoughts?
I think if we're,
Was it not the fire department who fought us? Why are you guys trying to ignore me? I'm simply asking, was it not the
it's the
fire
same thing you
department?
always say every single time, David.
Okay, well, was it not the fire department who fought us?
Yes, I'm trying to figure out.
Okay, so you
I'm
agree
trying-
it was the fire
No,
department
it's
who
'cause
fought
I
us?
went to town council. I asked them they'd come.
Who
They said they
fought
would
us?
not, 'cause you guys only
Exactly.
yell.
They
All you
did
guys
not-
do is you
they
don't have a
did
civil
not come, did
conversation
they?
with them.
They did not come, did they?
They don't want to come because there's no civil conversation with you
Thank
guys.
you.
You guys
Thank
always
you.
yell at them.
So where are they now for having this conversation?
Because you
JJ,
haven't
where are they
asked them
now?
to come here.
Well, you
Well, then
have,
why are we discussing it if we
And
haven't
it's
had
AJ's,
time to discuss
AJ,
it?
you always
What-
always said it's AJ's
what-
doing to figure it out.
what do we have
This
to,
is-
what do we
You
have
guys,
to,
there's
Dave,
nothing I'm gonna do. I'm just bringing it up so the public understands you guys don't
No,
care that we
you-
have no contract with the fire department.
you're the only one that don't care.
No,
We
I
have,
tried to get
we have a contract with the town of Ossian,
We don't have a contract with the fire department though,
through
correct?
the town of Ossian,
Correct. We don't have a
We have
contract
a con-
with the fire department.
through
do
the
we?
town of Ossian.
We don't have a contract with the Austin Volunteer Fire
We
Department,
have
do
a
we?
contract with, through the town of Ossian.
We have a contract with the town of Austin, correct? Not the Austin Volunteer Fire Department,
Okay.
correct? Is that not correct, AJ?
Besides paragraph 2,
Is that not correct, AJ?
Paragraph
We do
two, what
not
does it
have
say?
a fire department contract with the Austin Volunteer Fire Department, do we?
okay,
We don't, do we?
okay.
Well, why won't you answer the question? You
Okay.
guys are all about keeping the
Right.
public informed, so tell them, do we have a contract with the Austin Volunteer Fire Department?
Yes,
Where? I want to see it.
paragraph 2.
Produce me the contract with the
Paragraph
Austin
two.
Volunteer Fire Department, not the town of Austin.
Paragraph 2 states how we are set up with that
That
contract.
doesn't matter. Do we have a separate contract with the Austin
We
Volunteer Fire
don't have
Department?
to have a separate contract.
Do we have one?
We have a contract with the town, the fire department.
We do not have a contract with
Okay,
the Austin
David,
Volunteer Fire.
we're done.
Just tell the public
I have told the public,
that we don't have a contract.
we
correct?
have a contract to the town of Ossian. That is my answer, and that's final.
Yeah, see, you're getting mad because you can't answer the question. You want the public to be informed.
Okay,
You want
let's
to
move on. I answered
with
it.
the right
I
information, but
answered
that's
it.
not right, is it?
I answered
Are we
it.
gonna look
Okay,
into something different? Or are we
go.
gonna stick with this?
What, that's your guys' decision.
Looking forward and looking at the potential growth that Austin has, I think it'd be more beneficial if you looked into how something would work if it was related to values.
We could start looking into that, but do we want to do it this year or wait till next year? Do you want to continue with this one for one more year and then start working on it the rest of this year, going into next year? And that's what you guys can decide.
Yeah, I think, I think you can start looking into it next year because there's not gonna, all those extra houses are gonna be,
Done.
But they're talking about more subdivisions.
Right, there's gonna be more talks here in the future of more development going in.
yeah. So,
So we can start looking into it for next year, but if we want to continue on with this one here, we just have to fill in the budget once we get the budget.
The only thing I'd recommend is maybe just start looking, not implementing it, but
Right,
start looking into it now so you guys can be proactive.
correct. And that's my goal, is I want to be proactive. I'm not gonna wait till, that way I can start at least designing something, figuring out what we could do for the future. But
Because I can see the only thing the Austin board is gonna say is, well, you guys are way out there.
Right.
We're in town.
And that's why I want to factor in a distance, the cost factor of the cost of doing fires here, runs here in Ossian compared to runs out in the township. So I want to have a figure for that. So basically, I'm going to have the numbers developed for that.
you might find out we're not paying enough.
And that could be an issue.
But,
we don't know.
but eventually, the city will be big enough that they'll be paying,
That
township
should
will be
be
paying way more than they should.
correct. I think that's going to happen in the future is the town's going to be bigger than the township and then it'll flip. So the township will be paying. And that way it's an equal share of who's paying what.
If they merge, Union is just west of us, right?
Mhm.
If we
And that's why the other factor too is
come
to
in
stick with
together,
this.
then what happens? with
Yeah,
the-
we won't know until the end of the December of what's gonna happen there. So that's another reason to stick with this one until we know what's gonna happen with all the merger stuff. So I think that'd be the smart idea is to stick with this.
I agree.
And if you guys agree to this, I can present it to the town, like, hey, we're gonna go with this. We're gonna put in the budget. and split it like we've been doing and go from there. And then we'll start talking about it basically starting the next meeting. We're gonna have to decide something for the future, especially with how the townships are gonna change up. We're gonna have a different figure for that because we don't know how the mergers are gonna happen yet.
Because if they do, for whatever reason, because what is it? Is it union that's,
We don't know for sure yet. We've got an idea of who is going away, but we don't know how it's gonna be done. And that's the decisions of, again, the townships have to get together and decide that too.
I'm not so sure why we're discussing this, so, I mean, I can, why you're wanting to vote on this so early, and even, the year ain't even half over.
Because we're not waiting until December to vote on this again. We're not waiting until August. We're not waiting until September, October, November.
Well, we
I
didn't
want
want
this
to
in place
last
now.
year, but are you giving the public enough chance to come in if they feel differently?
If they have a different feel that I'm gonna present it to the town of Boston, then we can decide at that point. But
Okay, I'm just asking.
the public has had how much time since the beginning of the year to have their input?
Okay,
The township, the residents have had ample time to ask me questions.
okay.
So,
So basically, it's your word and screw them then.
well,
Get it.
they gotta talk to me. If they don't talk to me, I can't have answers.
I got you.
So again, phone numbers on the building, emails out there to the public, the township can ask questions.
I wasn't sure, I didn't know that it was all up to you, I thought it was up to the board, not the trustees.
The trustee's the one who comes up with the contract, you guys vote on the contracts, the approval of the contract, so.
Okay.
So you wanna officially do anything now, or?
You guys can make the motion and vote on, we'll approve that, present this to the town of Ossian, and then we'll get the budget put in there, and we can approve that, basically, this is the contract we're to go with. And we'll start having more conversations with them. Like I said, the only thing we gotta fill in with and you guys make that in your motion, once we have the budget, we can fill those numbers in. But we'll have to have those numbers here, because we start doing budget meetings here in July.
when would Austin take a look at it?
Of this contract,
Mhm.
in July. At their next meeting, because I'll present it at the next meeting if you guys approve this. If you guys make the motion to approve this.
So what input does Ossian have then?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I would,
So basically, they're gonna have to vote on approving what we just approved. If they don't like it, then they kick it back to us, and then we have to talk about the changes they want. So if they don't agree to this, or they want something different, they kick it back to us, then we talk about
They
it.
have to
and
tell
we'll
us
vote.
what they want to change, just like.
Yeah.
Right, and then we just basically goes back and forth, so, but we can't do anything without approval to do the next step. So
Right.
you approve it, then we can do the next step, otherwise. Again, this is basically the same contract besides the numbers, what we've done the last 2 years, which the town of Ossian's been fine with. And talking with the town of Ossian, I think they want to continue this at least one more year.
Okay.
this is just the wording.
Of what? This contract?
Yeah, so wording the contract.
So basically, you're gonna approve how the contract's presented to you tonight with the addition of the budget, once we get the budget here in the next month or two.
And we still have a chance to approve the budget, right?
Correct.
Right.
Okay.
Separate.
Because the budget is a separate thing,
Yeah.
and we won't have the numbers, like I said, we should have, ideally, everybody should have their numbers turned in before the end of the month. Because we gotta start getting with the DLGF after end of July, June, to start budgeting, getting the plans together.
And the same exact one?
What?
So this is the same exact one, word for word.
Correct, it's just, the only thing that's changed is the dates. So everything says 2027. And then we just need to fill in the budget once we have an approved budget.
I'm okay with it. You wanna make the motion?
I was gonna have you make the motion.
All right. I move that we continue with this current contract and have Ossian see if they have any changes, and then we'll talk about that. And the next meeting, we'll have the actual budget numbers.
I'll second. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
All right, I'll present that to the town of Ossian. All right. 2019 improper IRS payments, which I have discovered is bigger than this. So I sent you guys a whole big document. Didn't really want to print that out tonight. But this has been going on since basically 2020 or 2021 under one of the former trustees, that we've been getting notifications from the IRS that we were past due on a quarter payment. So when Larry took over in 2022, he finally got the letters on this. He started fighting it in 23, and now we're into 26, and this is still continuing on. We sent the IRS all the documents showing we made that payment for Q3. The wrong box was check marked. IRS is still saying, nope, you still owe that Q3 payment. So it has increased since last year. So last year's number was 18,000. So I think they discovered on the information I sent them in the last time that we didn't pay enough. And that's the issue we run into with 2020 and 2021. The trustee of those from 2019 to 2021 didn't pay enough taxes to the IRS. So our tax bill is actually way higher than this 37,000. But it's only,
37,000, not 3,700.
Yeah, I was just saying.
oh, so 3,700, 3763.58.
Hopefully it's not 37,000.
So this-
37,000.
Well, this is dated June 1st.
Uh-huh. I have not got any other letters, but I finally got logged into the IRS's website, and I see that the IRS wasn't paid enough in 2021 and 2020.
But you can't just pay this and.
We can pay that, but we still have to cover a couple of bills. Once we pay this, we'll be.
I thought Larry was dealing with some accountant on this.
We did, and this is the last bill I got from them. They rejected all of our stuff.
The accountant did?
No, the IRS rejected it.
Okay,
So
what's the
when
accountant-
Larry took over in
Yeah,
2022,
I remember what.
he hired an accountant to correct the books because the books were way off.
That's correct.
So the
And I thought
accountant,
they were working on this IRS ordeal too. They was not?
they did.
Okay, so what did they have to say? Did you contact them?
This is where we're at. This is basically what's happened. We sent all what the accountant told us to do. We sent all that information in. And the IRS is still saying, nope, you're done. This is basically, I could keep going back and forth with the IRS.
Yeah, but so the accountant that did this is aware that they've sent this back to us then, you're saying?
Correct. And it's basically, we're at this point here, because luckily Larry took over, and when he took over in 22, the accountant caught the 2022 that was
Yeah,
been paid
I-
wrong too. And then from there, it's been corrected. And that's why we still pay that accountant every year. I think we pay him quarterly to do our taxes. That way, we're paying all the taxes like we should be.
Okay, have you gotten any additional letters? This is the only.
This is only one I've had for 2019, but I can see that our 2020 and 2021 bill's been accruing interest too.
But you haven't gotten.
Okay,
any.
So I haven't got an
what-
official letter yet.
Yeah, so what you're saying is this is,
This one is for sure is due, but that's why I say I haven't gotten any letters, so I can't tell you that we need to pay those other two yet. We gotta get this one paid first, then they're probably gonna start sending letters, because the other ones are both under $200.
so did the accountants that Larry hired, did they find this and they thought we could slide this by, or did
No,
they
no.
not find this?
They saw what happened, so that's why Larry hired an accountant in the beginning,
Okay,
is
so
because Larry got a letter from the IRS back in 2022.
that's,
That's
I
why-
understand this, but I'm trying to figure out why the accountant then didn't take care of this.
So
Why-
the accountant told Larry, go through these steps here. So Larry contacted the IRS, got letters sent to him, sent all the information showing, hey, we made 4 payments in 2019. the payment for the third quarter was check mark Q2.
But
And
but it
then-
never got addressed, we weren't paying enough is what you're saying. You found out now we wasn't paying. they
The
didn't pay
IRS is
enough.
now saying we didn't pay enough because I
Okay.
sent them into 2019.
So the accountants
I
didn't
understand.
catch that, and later the accountants didn't catch that, is basically what you're
Or the
saying.
IRS, I said I had to send in the W-2s for 2019, so anybody that was on the board, trustee, anybody that had W-2, I
Yeah.
had to send a copy into that. That's
Okay.
why our bill jumped up so high. It's
Okay,
because they
so-
discovered it, hey, now, because of the difference, because it was an increase, failure to file penalty, it's one thing after another.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's why our tax bill is so much higher
I guess
now.
I'm just trying to make sure it wasn't the account's fault. I'm just trying
It's
to
not
figure
the
out
accountant's
what,
fault. It's,
why this was,
It's-
because Larry thought he had this
it-
resolved. and-
I thought so too.
Yeah.
And it took, because last time I sent any information to him was in September, October.
Yeah.
So
okay.
we're talking, I got the letter in June. One, the IRS is always busy doing others. They got so many other caseloads. But again, this is the fault of the former trustee.
I
And
understand,
it's,
I understand.
and the accountant tried to help, the accountant got to where we needed to be, but the IRS is still saying, no, you still owe this.
Well, you gotta get it taken care of. We need to get it taken
Right.
care of
This is-
before this board leaves at the end of the
Right.
year. AJ, get it figured out what,
So what we need.
we owe total on whatever else they think. we
So
owe.
we're gonna pay
Let's
this
get
amount here, since it's the only letter I have.
Yep,
And
okay.
if I get any other letters, then we'll pay those as they come in, but I know those are gonna still build up interest.
Well, try and get a hold of them to see if you can get it completely settled.
We
so
can,
that
we can pay
this
all
don't
the
go
bills.
on.
I can get you guys the final total of what the other two bills are gonna be,
Get
and then just
it,
pay it, we can pay it all. I just need a motion. to
let's
approve
get it so that the next board, because then you gotta go through explaining all this
Right.
again of what happened, why, what.
They're
So
also,
if you guys, you just gotta approve that for
Yeah,
us to make those payments.
Yes.
And that's all it is.
get it and let us know at the next meeting, get the final bill and what we owe, and we'll approve whatever, figure out where you're gonna get the money from, and we'll get it
We'll
taken care
figure
of.
that out, because we
Yes.
got money in the bank account, we just gotta approve.
Yeah,
it.
just get it,
Transfer
let's just
funds.
get this before the next board, get it all settled, so
So I
nobody
just
else.
need a
has it.
motion to approve to pay the IRS.
I make a motion to,
Well, you don't need a motion. Oh, you're gonna pay
For
this
this-
right away. Yeah, okay. A motion to to
Approve
pay
that.
this one and then get us what we owe on the rest of them.
yes, I make a motion to approve the payment to the IRS of the $3,763.58.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, I prefer not to have interest.
And it keeps,
Yeah,
it
no,
keeps
let's-
getting bigger and bigger,
I mean,
so I can keep fighting it, and it's
No,
just
no.
gonna get worse.
Larry's, we've done our.
And Larry did his due
Yeah, we
diligence
did
and-
our due diligence. Just
Yeah.
get it over with.
Some of these are crazy.
Yeah,
8%.
yeah, their percentages are not cheap. That's why we pay an accountant to do our taxes now.
All right, now we can kind of skip the next one. We can talk about it if we want to, but
So the updates we have on the playground equipment is,
Yeah,
none of it's gonna be
no.
viable, correct?
no, the only thing they'd be able to save is the slides, and work has already begun to tear parts of it down.
Okay.
So
What happened? What's going on?
there was, well, my company, Crosby, was working on, we wanted a couple playground ridos, so we're ripping out old playground equipment, and we're seeing if anybody wanted it. But the problem is the locks that go on them, you can't take them out, so you have to cut the whole post to let them down,
Okay.
which only leaves the slides. So
I got you.
Yeah, so we're just gonna pass on that
Yeah,
and
yeah.
not worry about it.
Yeah.
Updates from the Ossian Parks besides that, we're kind of holding off on anything. We're trying to get more data, information on what they're kind of wanting assistance with. So at this time, I don't have any other updates because I got some other stuff in plan, but we're gonna be working on a major plan here, so. I'm not gonna do anything with any monies right now but until we get decided. So by the time the next meeting, we may have something figured out.
The only thing I got then, AJ, on the final comment, is these meetings. We do not have set scheduled meetings. We did not make these meetings as set scheduled meetings, AJ. We agreed to these meetings as of if we needed them and they could be rescheduled. Everybody should try to attend every meeting, and if they can't, you should ask us. You're posting these meetings and the times before you even ask us if we can make it, AJ, at 6 PM. You can't do that. It's the board's meetings, not your meetings. It's not your meeting, it's the board's meeting. So you need to ask us before you post in the paper that we're gonna have a meeting at 6 o'clock.
I understand your feelings.
That's the way it is. That's the rules. Look it up. You can't schedule the
But the
meetings.
board decided last year to set dates for the meetings at 6 o'clock.
Not in stone. You know doggone good. It was not in December. I went back and listened to the December meeting. This board did not do that. It was with Larry.
I understand. No, it was with me.
No, it wasn't.
We decided in December. But,
No, I went and listened to the whole meeting. It was not discussed over the meetings.
But let me get my point across. We voted on this to say these are going to be our dates at 6 PM. If we need to adjust it, we got to know in advance. Otherwise, I'm going to schedule.
I can't know in advance till if you already post them, AJ, because you don't tell us if you're gonna have them or if you don't. So, okay, then we'll take them off, take them out.
The dates are already set for the year.
The time, take them out. No, because you are not asking us if we can make them.
I'll resend you the schedule.
You are not
And then
asking us, you
let
are
me
not,
know.
okay, I'm busy, I can't make it to the rest of them at that time or that date.
Okay.
Okay, so you're notified.
You let me know what dates you can make it. Because I got to know
You
for my time.
let me know when you're ready to do it. And
I've
I'll let you
got,
know.
I got my date scheduled. If you
You let
can't
me
make
know when
it,
you're ready to do
I don't
it.
want those dates.
Okay.
I
Let me know.
have these dates in my calendar,
Yeah, I was gonna
so
say,
that
I
I
have
plan around
Listen,
them.
listen,
planned around them too.
We're not
Okay.
changing them.
'Cause I have a bunch of trips.
You-
planned around them.
you-
So-
you cannot post them before you ask us of the times we can, this is the board's meetings.
okay, well, the board
So you-
said right here,
go ahead.
20203 said they can make the rest of the meetings.
Well,
Yeah,
If you
'cause the
can't
problem is
make
that
it-
I really do have trips planned.
I
around
can't,
this. I don't
well,
think
I'm
we're
sorry,
ready.
but I work construction just like you do, and I
I
can't
get
tell when I'm working 10 or 12 or 14-hour days.
But you gotta let me
That's not-
well know in advance time too.
I can't-
That's
Well,
why.
you can't, you're not notifying, so these are optional meetings, these are not required, and you're not telling us to, you send me the agenda, and then you
So-
tell me we're having a meeting, I say I can't make it, you said, I've already posted, you can't do that.
Because I didn't hear any from anybody saying, hey, I know our next meeting is coming up. You can't, I
Well,
can't
would it
make
help
it.
if we moved the time back? Like back to 7 o'clock?
Yeah, 7 o'clock I mean, the only reason I'm here tonight is because it rained. If it would've
Yeah.
rained, I
Yes,
wouldn't have been
I
here.
get your scenario, your work. I
Yeah,
get it.
exactly, so we can't,
Yeah.
these are not set in stone,
If
he
we
should work with us, and he's not working with us.
You gotta work with me too, David.
What I'm saying
How
is-
can I work with you when you don't tell us that you're gonna have a meeting until you?
I planned these meetings last year so that I can have in my
We
calendar.
had, we did not agree, we do not have to,
It was approved by
this
the board.
government body does not have to have set scheduled meetings, only 2 are required.
4 meetings a year are required.
No, 2,
Four.
the budget meeting and
We had to have a meeting in January,
the January 1st one and the February one. That's
February,
3.
and 2 budget meetings. So 4
So-
meetings a year are required.
Would it help if we moved it back to 7?
Yeah, it's gonna help, yeah, the time, I mean, I can't guarantee it till I know where I'm working at, I mean,
But you just gotta let us know ahead of time, because that's why we schedule ahead of time, so we can factor in, hey,
but they're not scheduled, because as it says, AJ, you sent them to me, what's it say? They are if needed.
It's
So,
at least the
so
last two different-
if you don't tell me you need it until the last minute, how am I supposed to know?
we've already discussed it, so like, back
I'm
in
telling you,
February.
though, I can't ask him, as a
In fact-
construction worker, I can't
David,
tell you
David,
2
Let
months
me
in
explain.
advance.
So in February, I told you, hey, we're gonna need to have the meeting in April. I told you in February, we're gonna have to have the
I
meeting
don't
in
believe
April.
you said that.
And then in April's meeting, I said we're gonna have to have the meeting in June.
Well, I wasn't here for that. You didn't send me that, tell me that you were gonna have to have the
We can
meeting.
move it back to 7.
That's fine.
I actually kind of.
Then I have time to eat before.
Yeah, that's fine.
Then I'll have to I'll send that out back to everybody with the meetings now at 7. I'll let the paper know. 'cause the paper
I'm
needs to be
putting on
notified.
notice that they're not applicable to what I need. So,
Well,
That's
these are the dates. If you can't make those dates, that's fine. We're gonna change it to 7 to accommodate you. And that's all.
I can't guarantee that.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
I'm
fine.
just going
If you
along with
can't-
what
You
it's.
just let us
Fill the
know
duties.
if you know.
Let
at
somebody
least-
else do it.
I will take care of the necessary things I need to take care of. And AJ,
And that's
like I
why
said,
that's why
I want
scheduled everything.
responses on them things I asked for
Okay.
in an appropriate time matter.
Okay.
And I will look that up. I will find that resolution where we signed that you couldn't take that money in or out without board approval. But make sure you check with, find it yourself and check with what you gotta do, and then check with what you gotta do about leaving the stuff out of the minutes that I wanted in there that were discussed at the meeting.
All right, anything else?
Good?
All right, make a motion to conclude the June 10th Jefferson Township board meeting.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.